Guys, I've come to believe that journalism is dead, and there are journalists all over the world that are just there to put out stories to be read but without credibility. Because how can you put up such a story, guys? I'm going to talk about this Tielemans story. When he was starting to state it, it looked like it's so much on point, but the way he concluded it really just blowed him out of the realistic presentation of this story, showing that he just wanted to be mentioned about. So obviously, because you wanted to be mentioned about, let's mention about you and then troll you and put you where you are supposed to be, because we can't accept this in this modern era of journalism. Because we people who don't sit down and type at least come here and analyze the situation, and you can't really come out and put out such a story that Tielemans and Xhaka, one of those should be leaving Arsenal and others joining. Who tells you? Who tells you? Is that the plan of the manager? That's not the plan of the manager. This manager wanted this player way back in 2021. You know that very well. And he has chased him for the previous 1 year. And Mikel Arteta is 100% interested in Mikel Arteta. And guys, how are you? Where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. I might sound like I'm really annoyed, but I'm not annoyed. But this story that I'm going to do, I'm just going to sit down this man, because certain people really need to be sat down. Because you can't tell me that stories like this are still existing. How can someone put out something that even a baby can just go out and be rubbish? You get? Alright, smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Obviously, Rokani David is my name, and thank you for watching this channel. And guys, smash the like button, comment and share, and subscribe, guys, so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. In this episode, looks like it's going to be our last recording. Our last video is going to be a live match reaction after Liverpool plays the side which goes by names of Crystal Palace. The lineups are already out. Darwin Núñez has started, and Patrick Vieira has gone with the different system he played with against Arsenal. He has played with five defenders, 3 central defenders with 2 fullbacks. Therefore, that is a man who goes by the name of Patrick Vieira, showing you that he's afraid at what is going to happen to him at Anfield. But all in all, that does not stop us from coming in here to bring you and broadcast to you live what is happening right about now in the camp of Arsenal, as you Tielemans, Granit Xhaka are involved into this story. Gabriel Jesus is really one of those we're going to talk about. Mikel Arteta throwing in new quotes and hails about this Arsenal's new number 9. Then we are talking Hector Bellerin, and we are going to bring you the stats of Gabriel Jesus in these only 2 games. He has played the Premier League. I think no one has stats like he has. Smash the like button, guys. Let's get into these stories, because I'm really starting, yet I had to first come in and greet you. But obviously, this is what I'm supposed to be doing on this channel. Now, today, Rob Turner, he's a football writer for The Athletic, covering Leicester City, writer of the best-selling book 5000-1, the Leicester City story. So this guy wrote into The Athletic and say that there is a mutual attraction between Arsenal and Tielemans. Obviously, that's 100% true. This is where I told you that when we were starting this story, he really told us the truth. A move may only be made if they make room in their squad by removing on Granit Xhaka. This is where I 100% disagree with him. The other deterrent may be Leicester's determination to recoup a large chunk of their investment. So, first and foremost, that story of a junk, there is a mutual attraction between Arsenal and Tielemans. Arsenal likes Tielemans. Tielemans wants Arsenal. That's no longer news. That's no longer news. Now, when you tell me that Spurs want to get a deterrent, the other deterrent may be Leicester City's determination to recoup a large chunk of their investment. How are they going to get it when the player is left with just 11 months to run down his contract? You get? The best they can get out of this is £25 million. And I think this is a story being put out by Leicester to its fans that we are not saying Yeremy Pino. You get? But that's out. It has been blown. It's not even thought of. It just... How can I term it? It opposes logic. That's it. It opposes logic, because you can tell me that Leicester wants to gate or recoup a large chunk of their investment in Yeremy Tielemans, yet the player is left with 1 year on his contract. That does not make sense to me. I don't know whether it makes sense to you, the viewers of Rokani Media Football, but for me, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. The only point he has gotten right is that there is mutual attraction between Arsenal and Tielemans. That's it. That's fine. Tielemans wants to play for Arsenal, and even Arsenal want to sign Yeremy Tielemans. That's it. That's the fact that I come in here and we bring to you. But that of recouping a large chunk of money they invested, that's out, because there is no way they are going to recoup the amount of money they expect to get from Tielemans, because Arsenal came here last season when the player was left with 2 years on his contract. Arsenal was offering £45 million. Leicester was demanding for 65. What Arsenal did, they pulled out. They pulled out. And the player said, I'm not renewing my contract. The only way Leicester can get money out of this man, the £25 million, is them selling him to Arsenal. To get more out of this deal, Arsenal needs to back out of this deal, and the likes of United coming through. The likes of Liverpool, Newcastle, of which the player is saying, I want to go to Arsenal. Don't sell me to a team where I don't want to go. So nowadays it's hard to sell a player where he doesn't want to go. So if Leicester get money out of Yeremy Tielemans, they're supposed to go in and accept that this is a spoiled moment and it's a deal gone bad. The player is having a better, how can I even term it? The player is having an advantage over Leicester City. That's it. Then, what has really showed me that this player, this man who really wrote this story, is really having something that is not okay with his head, I'm sorry to mention, because he says a move may only be made if they can make room in their squad by moving on Xhaka. Today I brought you a story coming in from The Athletic that Xhaka, and that is David Austin in particular, that Xhaka is part of the 3 captains of Arsenal. The leadership core of Arsenal is having Odegaard at his helm. Then Xhaka and Gabriel Jesus are his deputies. They deputize him. Now, how can Arsenal move on a player who is going to be an assistant captain? This guy, Mr. Rob Turner, you are really going to be ashamed when Tielemans really crosses that side. One, why does Arsenal need Tielemans? The fact is, when Xhaka or Partey is away, the team looks vulnerable in the midfield. That partnership is okay, but can it play all the 60 games Arsenal is going to play in the entire season? The answer is no. So, Arsenal are doing this to bring in Tielemans because they know that even if Partey is away, Tielemans can partner with Granit Xhaka. Even if Granit Xhaka is away, Partey can play with Tielemans in that central midfield. That's what Arteta is doing. Even when he wants to rest Granit Xhaka, and he can bench him and rotate him with Tielemans. The same applies to Partey. He can really bench Partey and bring in Yeremy Tielemans. That's it. Because I think the problem as to why Partey really gets injuries is that they should know the number of games they should be playing him in. Some games he should just come in, and some games you just play like 70 minutes, then get him off and get in a Tielemans to play. So this correspondent of Leicester, at a side which goes by the names of Athletic, really needs to revise how transfers are made. You can tell me that you want to recoup the large chunk of the money that you really put into Yeremy Tielemans. That's out. So I don't believe that story. But one thing I really believe is that there is a mutual attraction between Arsenal and Tielemans. That 100% agree with you that it's there. Now, Fabrizio Romano, for the very first time, has come out and talked about Yeremy Pino. And this is what he has said. Villarreal would like more than 50 million euros for Yeremy Pino, and it will not be an easy negotiation. Edu was not traveling to Spain to meet Villarreal, also because Pino's agents are based in the United Kingdom. There is more than one English club for him. So I read you a story yesterday. I brought you a story, yes, I think it was the last story that we did. It was all about Tielemans and then Yeremy Pino. Edu was pictured on, is it Ryanair, on the old plane flying to Valencia. So it was rumored that he was there to negotiate a deal of Yeremy Pino. But Fabrizio is telling us that that wasn't the case. But there are very many teams interested in Yeremy Pino, and 50 million euros have been put onto the head of Yeremy Pino. If at all you really want Yeremy Pino, more than 50 million euros is what you should offer. 19 years of age, good talented player, right winger playing with the right foot. He's really talented and one of those prospective talents coming in from Spain. So Fabrizio has told us that it's not that. Edu was not traveling to Spain to meet Villarreal, because rumor had it that this player, Edu, the sporting director of Arsenal, was traveling there to meet Villarreal and discuss the final details of the deal. But obviously, the number one transfer group is telling us that that wasn't the case, meaning that Edu was in Spain for some other businesses. Maybe they're really chasing him for another player, because there is the way Edu does his job. Fabrizio Romano, who is reporting this story, told us that Edu likes to work under the radar, so he doesn't want to see most of the deals known at the early stage. He just wants us to know of those deals when they are materializing, like that of Fabio Vieira. You remember how it happened? Fabio Vieira was really a player that we just found ourselves knowing that Arsenal is going to sign him from FC Porto. So I think there is another player that's going to shock us that Edu is going to deliver for Mikel Arteta, that they've agreed on with the board to bring in a player. I saw Edu in All or Nothing series or documentary saying that we need two players in every position, and that position of Bukayo Saka is really giving them sleepless nights, because if at all Bukayo gets an injury, no player is going to come out and really give them what Bukayo gives them. The other position that's giving Arsenal sleepless nights is that position of a man who goes by the names of Gabriel Magalhaes. They don't have another left-footed central defender. That's why they're searching one for in. And the other one is really Tielemans, obviously. Why Arsenal is really playing this game, the delaying tactic, is simple. Because they know Leicester doesn't have advantage over this player. How much they'll call in for £35 million, they won't get it. They won't get it because Arsenal knows they have to sell this player now, before 1st September. If at all he goes past 1st September without being sold to Arsenal, then in the January transfer window, the player will go for like £5 million. If not, for free in the summer of next year. So that's what Arsenal is relying on, because the player wants to play for Arsenal, either for you. And I remember what Arsenal really did, what Arsenal is doing. It once backfired at Manchester United during that deal of Jadon Sancho. Sancho was very much interested to come to Manchester United, but a team which goes by the names of Borussia Dortmund, where Sancho was playing, came out and said that if at all it reaches the seventh of 2020, when no team has really met the realistic valuation of Sancho, that was close to £85 million, we are not going to sell him. When it reached seventh, United was really like Arsenal, knowing that, all right, Sancho is going to be left with 1 year on his contract if at all we don't get him this year. Now, the sporting director of Dortmund came in and said, obviously Sancho is going nowhere because he has extended his contract by 1 year. You see, I don't think the same scenario is going to happen to Arsenal. Tielemans will go behind their back and sign this contract. I don't believe he's going to do it, because nowadays it's becoming something usual. We are accustomed to it. We are now used to it. It's a new normal that players run down their contracts and go as free agents and look for other teams that are going to give them good money, sign-on fee, and huge salaries. So let's wait and see what is going to be happening at the side which goes by the name of Arsenal. But Yeremy Pino is wanted by Arsenal, but not only Arsenal, but with other 3 clubs based in the UK. And Fabrizio told us that there is no reason as to why Edu would fly to Spain, yet the agents of Pino are based in the United Kingdom, meaning that all the meetings are being held in the United Kingdom, and there is no reason as to why a team which goes by names, Edu, would fly to Spain. That means he's going to Spain. There is another player he's really being targeting in the. But remember, Edu told us that he does not sign a player before talking to that player. So we 100% believe that he might be there to talk to Pino or not. So let's wait and see which other fat news is coming in from a side which goes by the names of Pino in there for you. Then Hector Bellerin, the Sun is reporting that Hector Bellerin wants Arsenal to terminate his contract. He's keen to return to Real Betis, while Barcelona are also monitoring this situation. Both clubs are prepared to wait until 1st September, convinced Arsenal will allow him to leave as a free agent in their for you. So, looks like it's heating up for this player, and even another team is coming in and they're interested in signing him. That is Barcelona, and that is Spain. That can really be a very big shifter into this game, into the deal, because he said no to Villarreal, he said no to Atletico Madrid, he said no to Juventus, and he accepted Real Betis only. Now, the coming in of Barcelona, is Hector Bellerin going to accept the offer of Barcelona, or is going to turn it down? But it looks like Arsenal are really hesitant to terminate this contract. His agent flew in London last week on Wednesday, and we expected termination news to come out, but it wasn't delivered like that. Arsenal are hesitant. They want money. They rather get like £4 million or 5 for this player other than selling him on a free. I think that's how business works, because that money, if you get £5 million from Hector Bellerin, you can add it on the amount of money that Leicester wants and get in Tielemans, because the more you delay to sign in players like Tielemans, it really sounds awkward to the fans of Arsenal, because Arsenal fans want something from Leicester. They want Tielemans. They want Arsenal to deliver Tielemans, because when you look at the most talked about transfer that really gets a lot of views right now, it's all about Tielemans. Just about Tielemans, views are really coming in through. Yesterday I did the video, it's now going to 6,000 views before it even hits one day or 24 hours. So this is the player they want, and I think Arsenal are really working hard to bring in a player who goes on Tielemans, and they don't want to get another player's contract terminated without getting money out of them. But Barcelona coming in the mix might really change the mind of Hector Bellerin from Real Betis to joining a side which goes by names of Barcelona. So the last story into this episode, Mikel Arteta on Gabriel Jesus' brace against Leicester. He said there are different goals, but I think the first one is a top individual action to be able to produce that. It is something that brings the team to a different level, and his work rate, movement, and quality. He produced 2 assists as well. So that is the man who goes by the name of Gabriel Jesus, and the manager's hailing him. His first individual effort to really use the first touch to set that ball, and the second touch to curl that ball into the upper corner of the goal beyond the goalkeeper of Leicester, who goes by names of Howard, was really exquisite. It was exquisite, guys. It was out of this world. He took it with precision, and it went to the back of the net. I know everyone really loves that goal in the for you. Oh, talking about misses, and here Darwin Núñez just missed. This is a sitter, guys. It's a sitter. But you know, I'm really doing this video, recording it as I'm really watching in. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a beautiful cross. Hit. Elliott. Look at Darwin Núñez. I think Darwin Núñez is not good with his foot, but he's so much good. Look at where he shoots. Not even in goal. So he taps it way far from the goal area. So I really believe that it is something that is happening at Liverpool, but Arsenal really got themselves a certified number 9 that Mikel Arteta is really talking about. He got into assists and 2 goals, and let me show you what stats he has in 2 games. Gabriel Jesus in the Premier League so far this season, highest goals 2.6. He has 2.06. Then most goals plus assists has 4. Most touches in the opposition box 26. Most tackles completed, those are 9. And guys, I told you in a video that did I do it yesterday, that I'm predicting Gabriel Jesus to outscore Haaland. People said that can't happen. It's going to happen. You are going to let me know by the end of the season of Haaland and Gabriel Jesus who's going to be having more goals. Man City have many outlets that can really create magic more than a player who goes by names of Haaland. Even if Haaland doesn't score, Man City will go in and win. You get? Apart from the assist he got involved in when Bournemouth were losing to them by 4-0, what other effort did he put up? He missed like 2-3 chances. But Gabriel Jesus, in the game of in the game of Crystal Palace, he never got a clear-cut chance. But in the game of Leicester City, he got chances and he converted them into goals. I remember very well doing the prediction, and I told you that during the preview, I told you that this guy is going to score his first goals against Leicester City. So that's Gabriel Jesus for you, being held by the manager. Feel free to get the comment section and tell me what you think about Tielemans to Arsenal. There is a mutual attraction, and that Granit Xhaka is going to leave. I don't believe in that. But what I believe about the story I did first is that there is a mutual attraction. What's your reaction to Tielemans having a mutual attraction with the team which goes by the names of Arsenal? Then Jesus held by his manager Mikel Arteta. Then Hector Bellerin wants his contract terminated at Arsenal because he wants his future sorted before the deadline day ends. Something that I believe Arsenal are going to go on and really deliver to his table. Thank you guys for watching in. I sign out for now. See you later. Last recorded video. The last video is going to be a recording of that Liverpool game. You get? That's it. That's the match reaction and highlights of the game as how it really went. I'm out.